Okay, there we go. Finally updated social things, so we should be good to move forward. Today's stream is going to be a lot of figuring out what is actually going on with this application because I haven't really looked at it in quite a while. So that's basically what I want to do right now. And I was working on the mobile side of things. Actually, let's pop into GitHub and see what we can find. This was chronic. Oh, I'm not signed in. Sweet. It's not a big deal. Okay, cool. So we have this one, and then we have another one for the backend app. I don't know if I've really talked about this application too much publicly beyond being on the podcast. We talked about it there a little bit, but it's a Elixir and Phoenix backend application, and then the front end application, which is going to be kind of the web client, which Jamie has been working on, and then the mobile client that I've been working on. Those are using React for some different things. So I'm using React Mobile. Unfortunately, I've almost completely forgotten everything I was doing with that. So I want to take a look at pull requests and see what I've actually pushed up and what I haven't. Start app connections there. Okay, so we pushed up a little bit on the application, but we haven't really tested anything from there. Oh yeah, we use Waffle for this too. So that's something we can go check out. Hopefully Jamie doesn't care that I'm putting this on stream. Can I just sign in? Ah, cool. Okay, so the last thing I was working on was chef related, actually. So I was working on configuring some servers. Won't be a big deal, but I'm not going to work on that right now. That's kind of something that needs to be backburnered. Otherwise, it's just me trying to automate things over and over again, and that's sort of annoying to work on sometimes. Client-side timer, this got shelved for a little while. Start timer macOS. Resuming, I think these are some API features. So it looks like I might need to dive in and work on the API a little bit. But let's go and see where we're at with some of these things. So I have everything divided up into a ton of different tabs. I really don't know how many of these things are actually up to date. So let's go ahead and pull this down. I'll do the same thing in the chronic mobile side of things. Oops. Wow, my tabs are all messed up. Okay, so apparently I was working on something here, and that was, using the actual staging API for things. It's not too big of a deal. I'm not sure if I want to put that into a separate branch, though, so I think I might do that. Wow. Holy cow, I forgot how Git works, apparently. It's a pretty bad branch name. And for the time being, we'll just add these things. And leave a kind of not great comment, but I'm going to come back and clean this up later. So that's there. Looks like if I go into the backend side of things, we need to see what I was working on. Oh, crap. Wrong browser. Bummer. I don't know if the staging server stuff ever got merged in, so we have to go take a look. Apparently not. So I might have to push this up. Let's see what we actually have inside of this branch. Nothing super useful. Man, what was I trying to do? Oh, I was demonstrating something. So maybe I should show you guys what this application actually does, if I can get it running right now. But it's kind of neat how it works. So it's one of the problems that we had that we were trying to address with this, and hi to anybody who's in the chat. I see there are a couple people there, but one of the things we were trying to address is that when you're working on, whatever it is you're working on, if you set timers so you can take kind of frequent breaks, one of the things you want to do during your breaks is you want to stand up and walk out and actually go do something else during your break. You want to walk around, you want to go grab a coffee, something like that, and then you want to be notified when your break should be over. So to do this, we actually have it set up to where we can have our timers running in the cloud, and then they just talk to our clients over WebSockets. And did my stream just go kind of wonky? I don't know. Looks like it's okay. But yeah, so I was trying to demonstrate through the logs on our staging server that it was actually going to have some updates using Erlang's way of hot swapping out modules. So we were able to deploy code without ever stopping a running process that was going in memory. So somebody who's using a timer already and it has things going on, it's not actually going to have any sort of issues when we deploy new versions of our code, which is pretty sick, actually. I was pretty happy when we finally got that thing figured out. But yeah, now I'm in the spot where our next big change that we want to kind of work with is we want to be able to have a workflow for things. So I'm going to clean up this particular branch, which is apparently pretty abysmal. I don't really know. Distillery builds configured. Yeah, so let's clean this up. And hopefully I don't have anything private in here because that'd be kind of stupid. But if we look, we've got a bunch of different things that I was trying to work on. Apparently I want to remove this. Oh, okay. So I have 4 of these that don't actually need to happen. So we're going to go through, and what we're going to do is copy this particular SHA. We're going to do a git rebase -i on that. And then we can remove a bunch of history, and that'll just kind of make our lives easier. So now if we look at the history, it's quite a bit less. And I'm going to push this up. Or I guess here, we'll pull in master and see if there's been any changes. Then we'll rebase on top of that just to make sure everything's up to date. And then we can push this up. Oh, yeah, right. Got a force push. Getting back into a project that you haven't actually worked on in a while is sort of a pain because I have no idea what I was trying to do at the time. So it's kind of weird to pick my own brain from a couple months ago. We'll create a pull request for this. Double check to make sure we weren't doing anything kind of crazy. We were basically just hard coding where the API server is going to go, which this is still kind of bad. I would like to have this configured using some sort of environment variables or something like that I could work into a continuous deployment pipeline, but I haven't gotten there yet. I haven't actually built that pipeline yet because we're still, really early stages of this application. And, oh yeah, I added just the distillery stuff. I don't think I actually have anything that's going to be a problem here. So looks like I documented some stuff, so that's good. Utilizable. That's an odd word to type, but this is going to be good to get out there so we can move on to something else. Oh, except for the build broke. No function clause matching keyword get. I think I might have upgraded Elixir at some point in this process, which that's going to be unfortunate to go fix. So let's see what we've got, I guess. This project, if we take a look at it, we're using Docker Compose to run our database. Basically, that's pretty much all it's there for. It's just to run the database so I don't have to run it on my Mac itself. I haven't gotten to the point where I want to run Elixir inside of a container because we run into situations where sometimes the code reloading doesn't quite work out the way I expect it to, and that is such a pain when you're actively developing something. So if we start this, we should, if we make sure all of our environment variables are set, now we should be able to run mix test and hopefully get things passing. Maybe not, though. Turns out this project is enough out of date that I might have to update quite a lot of things. So this could be fun. Well, we're in a good position. At least we're getting the same error locally that we were getting on CI, so we don't have to pull our hair out trying to figure those things out. Let's go ahead, open up Dash, and see what we can find for keyword. And then what does it have for get? It has a get 3. It's right there. So that shows me that we're probably using the wrong version somewhere. So I'm using 164 here. What are we having it set to in our mix file? 1.5. Okay, I guess we just upgrade everything. Let's try that. Run our tests again. Still getting an error, which is a bit of a bummer. The following arguments were given to keyword get 3. Okay, so let's go into WebSocket endpoint. That's apparently where we're running into this issue. Keyword get. Is there a... That's weird. So it thinks we're calling keyword get 3, but we're only using 2 of them. So let's look this up in the docs to see what we're doing wrong. So we've got keywords nil default, which is already nil. And the first thing we're passing in is nil instead of a list. So that means we have an environment issue. application get and chronic module. Ignore port. So in test, okay, this makes more sense. Here we go. We'll go into the production settings. We configured this app slightly different. Oh, weird. Staging? No? There is no ignore port anymore, apparently. All right, well, that's a bummer. Let's take one more look at that just to see again. Okay, application get environment, chronic module, which is chronic API WebSocket, ignore port. Chronic API. Oops, I lost it. There we go. WebSocket endpoint. Okay, so in the prod.exs, we have one line that is actually setting this, but we don't set it anywhere else. So what we need to do is we need to figure out whatever we're doing on that line and config prod 22. We need to take this and set a default somewhere. So we're going to set this in mix. I don't know if we have a default. So we're going to have to set it in all of them, which is really kind of a bummer, I guess. But mix test, or it's config. Config test. Okay, we'll set it here. Okay, there we go. I think this should work. Hey, there we go. We're back to passing. Good deal. And we upgraded Elixir in the process, so that's probably going to build or break CI. So good deal for us, I guess. There's going to be no shortage of work to do on this project as we continue on. But if we take a look at the diff, we just added that. We bumped the Elixir version. And then I guess for my sake, I think I might bump the actual version of the application. Nah, we'll just leave it there. Okay, I got something, some sort of notification from somewhere, but I don't know what it was. Whoop, yep, totally missed it. Oh, we got a follower. Okay. Hey, Manix186, thanks for following. I really gotta figure out a way to get those notifications to myself instead of just hearing a sound and not seeing anything. Okay, going back to this, we are gonna commit this. Okay, we'll push. Hopefully this will actually get CI to passing. I'm assuming it's going to fail because we're using the wrong version of Elixir there, but we'll see that sort of when we run into it. The tests take about 1.5 minutes to pass, apparently, which is kind of a bummer, too. Well, that's going, because we actually have everything where we want it to be with this application. Let's go and take a look at the mobile side of things. And in here, what we've really got going on is nothing super special, but unfortunately we haven't touched it in a long time, so I'm almost afraid of what it's going to take to get this thing to run. But first thing to look at is going to be our package.json. Ooh, this is not in the right directory. Got my tmux all messed up, so it's not actually putting me in the right directory when I'm moving through things. Jamie. Okay, so we're going to go into code, chronic mobile. And in here, we'll take a look at the package.json just to see what's going on. Since this is a React Native project, it's going to use Node for quite a few things. And what we're mostly interested in is going to be the scripts here. So for us, we're going to run the iOS thing here. And we use Yarn because NPM is just a dumpster fire, in my opinion. I haven't had good luck with it in years and years, even though I think when it first came out, I thought it was pretty nice. But yeah, it's been rough for a while. But we're going to do yarn run iOS, and we should probably do this in a different thing here. So code, chronic mobile. Okay, getting errors, go figure. Command update not found. Yarn upgrade. We'll see if we can update things and get anything to work again. Redux mux store is already in dev dependencies. Please remove before adding to dependencies. All right, yarn, whoops, not yarn. Run iOS. Okay, this will probably take a while. I haven't run the iOS simulator in quite some time, so with any luck, it won't completely kill my machine while I'm trying to run all of this stuff to stream. Ah, that's a bummer. Also not a helpful error at all. It's simulator. Okay, apparently my simulator just won't start. Oh. This isn't a great time to install everything Xcode probably wants. Cannot be open because there's a problem. I'm going to guess that's what the problem was. I updated iOS at some point, or not iOS, but I updated macOS, and now I'm running into issues. Okay, so it failed. Kind of expected it was going to fail. And it failed because we have the wrong Elixir version. So this is just going to be one of those things where we have to kind of come in here and adjust our project settings. Because I've currently got it using install version of Elixir. I have an environment variable set. Hopefully there's nothing in here that's secret. Okay, there's not. Good deal. Let me pull that back over. This is the downside of doing things with live code. I have to be paranoid about environment variables that give you guys the keys to the castle. So we'll up that. And we'll rerun this build, and hopefully that actually gets us where we need to be. Okay, Xcode's still doing its thing. We haven't even really checked that we can get this server running locally yet. So we do have Docker running. We've got Postgres and a random MariaDB container that are actively going. So we're going to stop that. But now we should be able to run the server, which is going to be done, should just be by doing mix Phoenix server. Takes a little longer to compile this stuff than I remember. Okay, looks like we ran into a different error trying to connect to the database. We'll look around through here until we can find something that's actually our own code, which looks like we can't. Plenty of deprecation warnings to fix, so I think over the next couple days, maybe we'll clean up the server a little bit, make sure everything's up to snuff for 1.6. There's also a new formatter that Elixir 1.6 added that I haven't even played with yet, and it'd be pretty nice to have all of the Elixir code be consistent with what the community's been doing. Okay, so let's figure out what this thing is actually failing on. Terminating anonymous parse version. The exception was argument error. Okay. Well, this was an unexpected failure. Let's see what we can do, because first thing we'll do is we'll just delete our database running locally, because it's apparently working at this point, so that's fine. But we will do a mix ecto. Actually not 100% sure how these work. Mix help ecto. Are there seriously no flags? Oh, it's mix help. No flags. Weird. Okay, so we'll take this and we'll go see what ecto provides to us. We want to completely blow it away. So I think drop is what we're going for. Mix. Okay, we'll go see exactly what we were doing in the failing CI build here. Looks like, I thought I saw it a second ago. Oh, it's the name of the task. That's right. Mix ecto create quiet. Easy enough. Maybe we won't go quiet on this, though. We'll see what we can do. Or maybe it's the quiet part that is the problem. Nope, that stinks. Okay. Let's go back to our configuration and see what exactly we're doing in some of these build steps. I wonder if there's been a change to CodeShip since the last time I messed with it. Because this seems like it already provides a lot of what we need. Okay, let's go back to our error, and we'll do the good old Google approach here. Should get us through what we're wanting to do. We'll just copy this. Looks like there's a relatively recent one that failed. Oh, okay. Looks like it's an issue where we just need to update the Postgres version. That works for me. Wonder what version we need. Does it say? No, let's go to Hex and see what we can find. Postgres 13.5 is what it's currently going to be set to. Whoops. And we're using probably something a little bit older than that. Oh, we don't even have it set. Okay, that makes it easier to upgrade, I guess. Mix, steps, update, Postgres. Man, this list of things I can do to actually improve what we're running is getting longer and longer. There's probably a lot of things that I can update with how fast Elixir seems to move. So once again, we'll push this up, and then we will be hopefully ready to see if iOS is good to go. Looks like it's pretty close to having all of the Xcode updates installed, but then after that's installed, I'll likely have to update the the simulator. And those things are always gigs and gigs, so it'll probably take a little while for me to download it. Now we're kind of stuck in a holding pattern for a moment while we wait on this thing to build, which is kind of a bummer. But we're getting things figured out. I guess we'll watch it live. As boring as that is to do, I guess. Kind of interested to see, actually, while we're waiting, if there's anything in the mobile app that I should be updating. Because I'm assuming there are quite a few things that changed in here. So Phoenix, we'll just go check the outdated list here. I think Yarn has an outdated. Oh, yeah, Expo. Those big updates. React Native. React Native scripts. Yeah, so some pretty big changes, I guess. Backwards incompatible updates with Expo. So let's go do a little bit of research while we're waiting on this, I guess. Let's go to Expo, JavaScript. XDE. Not quite sure what that is. Oh. Okay. I don't think I have this installed. Oh, no, I do. Okay. Let's see if we click this thing, if we can just update it. Okay, so this is an old version, as we would expect. So we've already downloaded the new one, I guess. Let's go ahead and install it. Hey, we got our test back to passing. Good deal. So now we've got a pull request that we should be able to merge can be performed. Oh, okay. I got to send it over to Jamie for review. That looks good. We'll go ahead and do that. And then I think I have to do the same thing in Waffle. Ah, crap. No, just take me to the... Okay, so we'll assign this to Jamie and pass it over. We've successfully done at least one thing in this live stream, and now we're going to go try to break some more things while we're at it. See if we can update these dependencies. Looks like this is finished installing. Gotta go check on the simulators. Where is that? Is that downloads? Ah, components, right. Wait, do I have to install all these? Holy cow, this is gonna take forever. Okay, so yeah, we have another big thing to install before we can get back to utilizing this. But that means it gives us some time to go ahead and upgrade these packages. So we're going to go ahead and take these numbers and just bump these things up. It's going to totally break things, but that's okay. What was React at? React is at 16.3.1. React Native 55.1. Native scripts. Where is that? One point 13.1. 16.3.1. And what was that last one? Jest Expo and Expo are both 26. Okay, so we're totally going to break a lot of things here, but I'm hoping that we luck out in some of these breaking changes. Oh, weird. What changed? Ah, that's annoying. Maybe we'll try just with the breaking ones first. So we'll take Expo and we'll bump it up. Oops. Let's try a yarn upgrade and see if everything collapses on us. Oh, yarn install. Okay. No obvious failures, I guess. See if this still works. It's trying to do something, so that's a positive sign, I suppose. Come on, move. The simulator started on my opposite monitor, and I cannot move it. So that's cool. Oh, wait, there we go. Got it. Just got to click this little frame down here instead of trying to grab the border. This kind of tell me that I might have been wrong about needing to install this because it's 11.3, which apparently is already installed. So I guess we just roll with this for now. Maybe. Computers are the best. Okay, here we go. So the simulator started. If we open Expo, it should, in theory, run our application. Please. Crap. That's frustrating. All right, well, that's not going to work. Let's kill it. Give it another go. See if it actually works. Should start faster this time around because it's not installing an actual update into the simulator. Cool. No errors thus far. That feels pretty good. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little underwhelming once you actually see this application. It's nothing super fancy yet. I wasn't sure what I was doing with React. And we weren't working on this as a design, really. We were trying to get things to just run. So it's more of a prototype at this point. Wait, what? Press to show this menu. Oh, okay. Cool. Hey, it actually works. And the timer ticks. This is pretty cool. I know this seems super boring, but this timer action, it's not actually happening on the phone. This is the payload that's coming back from ticking inside of our WebSocket connection. What the hell? Okay, Expo is a work in progress, I guess. I have no idea why it just killed itself twice. I don't think it had anything to do with the application. This thing doesn't really do a lot. So that's okay. All right, we've got everything back up and running. I think I'm going to kill the stream now before we get into moving into anything else. It was not the most exciting thing in the world today. We fixed some tests. We got the server back up and running. We got some updates sort of rolling with some things upgraded to Elixir 1.6, which is pretty nice, and need to work on some of those things. I think tonight my goal is to kind of get some more of these chores out of the way so that tomorrow when I start the stream at 8 o'clock, I can actually come in and we can work on a feature and hopefully get something knocked out. But if you watched, thank you for joining. If you're watching this after the fact on YouTube, thank you for watching. And you should tune in at twitch.tv/CoderJourney and give that a follow if you want to see when I'm going live. And I'll talk to you then.